Welcome to episode 3 of Audiology. Today we're taking on Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim Petras. We've got some huge producers on this one. ILYA, who's famous for a lot of co-productions with Max Martin. Jimmy Napes, who's done almost all of Sam Smith's discography. Omer Fedi and Blake Slatkin, who are two very young but incredible producers. And Cirkut, who is also incredible and very, very established. On the mixing, we've got Șerban Ghenea, who is arguably the most in-demand mix engineer in the world. He's done all of Max Martin's productions, including Blinding Lights. Just about every number one hit in the last 30 years is done by either him or Manny Marroquin. So he's well respected. We've got Merrill from Sterling Sound on the mastering as well. So all hands are on deck for this one. It's a hyper pop, orchestral smash hit, and I'm really excited to get into this. So right off the bat, the song doesn't mess around. We've got this huge orchestral intro, and then a few seconds in, we're introduced to the bass, this big stabby synth bass. And I wanted to get into the low end in the mix first of all, because it's got a few elements. We've got this synth bass stab, we've got a sub, and we've got a kick. And the way they interact in this song is so beautiful, and they remain at the forefront for just about the entire track. The stabby synth bass is occupying not just a bunch of the low end, but it's also very prevalent and at the forefront of the entire mix, occupying quite a bit of the high mids. The synth bass and the lead vocal are kind of the two lead elements of this track. And what's really cool is just about everything else stays out of the way. So the sub is subtle, but it keeps the energy moving throughout the track. It doesn't get in the way or clash with the synthy stab bass, and there's a kick there for a bit of extra impact. It's really cool to hear how the rest of the drums are mixed around this low-end foundation. You've got all of this hyper-pop, Sophie-esque percussion moving from ear to ear, this really stereo clap, all these crushed, flanged drum hits moving from ear to ear, but none of them are really taking anything away from what's at the forefront, which is the lead vocal and the synth bass. And being that the song feels quite minimal in that there's just a bass and a vocal, it leaves a bunch of room in the high end for the vocal and the choir that comes in and out to just occupy all of that top end of the song. Speaking of vocals and the choir, the reverbs in this song are just beautiful. The lead vocal and the choir are both quite reverb heavy, which adds to the atmosphere and the orchestral feel of this track. Kim Petras' verse especially has some really beautiful vocal processing. She got a perfect pop vocal chain with a bunch of left and right panned dub vocals and also some additional reverbed wet ad-libs in the back. Really beautiful verse, and in my opinion, pop perfection the way that it's mixed. This song's got a really cool approach. It's the perfect pop dance, not just in the production but in the mixing as well, because there seems to be an intention here. It's got this dance between minimalism and maximalism. You know, there's only two elements at the forefront, like I said, the vocal and I guess by extension the choir and that synth stab bass. And as you move throughout the track, you've got so many different elements moving ear to ear, but again, they're all kind of tucked away and just accenting the energy and keeping the energy moving forward. But again, nothing's getting in the way of the vocal, the choir, and the bass. And an extension of this compliment on pop perfection is the mastering that's on this track. It's perfect. There's a modern, heavy low end, which is perfect for current sound systems, clubs, cars. You've got beautiful, clear, perfectly mixed vocals, atmospheric as they may be. It's a perfect balance from high to mids to lows. And I think Randy, the mastering engineer, has done an incredible job of keeping the song's dynamics intact, keeping the energy moving, but also having the song feel immediate and loud throughout. Sam, Kim, all producers, the mixing and the mastering engineer have done an incredible job on this track. I'm stoked that it's number one because it's that cool, and I can't wait to hear more from Sam's upcoming album.